All right, this is Jamie. Welcome to another episode of Formidable Fabrications. Today we have an interesting job. So this comes from my local coffee roaster. This is a coffee roasting cooling rack. So the beans come out of the roasting machine, land in here, and that spins while there is air being sucked down to keep the beans cool. Now once the beans are cool, this little flap door opens and these fins push the beans out. From what I understand, the beans came out of the roaster at too high of a temperature and they caught fire as soon as they hit the air, which caused the old beans to catch fire. So they couldn't turn off the machine because they had to keep the air moving through to keep the beans from catching even more fire. So what ended up happening is this cooling tray has gotten all wriggly and they can't use it anymore. See if I can get you a good view of it. So my job today is to take this piece off, replace this metal, fix this trap door so it opens and closes properly. And since this was a custom piece with this molded into it, I kind of have to recreate something similar, or at least manufacture something that'll work better. So first thing we need to do is pull this assembly out, which entails getting the shaft out. So let's turn it upside down and we'll get the gear off the bottom so I can flip it back up and we can take this piece off. So now that we got it upright and the shaft is out, you can see the metal just goes around here and then it goes around this area. So I got to take these screws out, and there's a lip around here that needs to pop out too. And once I get that out, this metal will come out, and then I just need to cut the new piece in the shape of a circle to lay it back on top. All right, well, sorry I couldn't get a whole bunch of this film for you, but we were doing some jackhammering outside for the upcoming project, as you can see out there. But anyway, so far I got the ring off that was holding the metal on of this bean dryer. So there was a ring that went around, sat on top of that ring, and that sandwiched the metal down in between. So the metal sat on top of these rails and sat along that ridge, and then the other ring, which is right here, that sat and sandwiched it in to hold it in place. So I got that out. That was a very laborious and time-consuming deal. So you can see this is nice and clean now, but it had probably about a 1/16 of an inch of like this stuff, if you can see that or that. It's what that is it's actually coffee bean oil. So the beans have an oil in them, and when the bean touches something and sits there, moves around, and the oil comes off, it sticks, and once it dries, it gets really sticky. Almost becomes like a tar. So there was that bean oil stuck all along this top lip and all on there. So I had to take the wire wheel and grind all that off and polish it up nice, because it was honestly a pain in the butt to get this ring out. I had to keep prying it around all these little, everywhere you see a little piece touch the rim, I would put a block in there and a crowbar and just keep pushing it up until it came up off the top and I was able to pull it off. So I cleaned that. This thing was completely covered in bean shell dust. So as part of the fire, that caught fire too and burnt on, so that was tough. So I used a scraper and scraped that off, vacuumed it out really good. I think the client really wasn't expecting that, but sure makes the thing look a lot nicer. So right now I'm going to use some brake clean, and oh man, you can actually see it. Look at that, look how much oil is in there, all that residue. Yeah, so that is the oil from the beans. You can see it on the rag. It's that oily. Now this is a super smooth finish. Like this is gritty. Feels like the bottom side of tape. And this is like super smooth now. So I'm just gonna have to take brake clean. Oh, it's gross. Look at this. Look, ready? Look at the oil coming out. That's all coffee bean oil. That's all that is coffee bean oil. So we'll take this and clean this off. So I'll do the whole thing, get it nice and clean. My main goal for even doing this nice is honestly just to get that ring back on there, so I don't have to use force to get that ring on. So I'm hoping this doesn't hurt this metal. I don't know what, I think this is galvanized steel. But yeah, this is incredible. Wow. Yeah, this client is going to be so happy. So I went to client asked if I wanted to give them a shout out. So this is a local roaster in Jessup. Their name is Orinoco. It's two brothers that run it, and their coffee is spectacular. It is it's really good stuff, and when you talk to the guys, you can tell that coffee is just their passion and that they love every bit about it. So I was going to start a coffee food truck at some point in the future, and they were my go-to contact for getting beans. So right now I still get my beans from them for my espresso machine and my normal coffee maker, and their beans are they're spectacular. I love their stuff. I can't say enough about them. So if you are in the area, in the Central Maryland area, you can look in local grocery stores. They do carry it, or you can even go online. Once again, the name is Orinoco, and they have awesome coffee, and this is one of their coffee bean coolers. So yeah, great guys to work with. This was just an unfortunate accident in their factory, but yeah, so definitely go check them out. And I'm out of brake clean, so I need to get some more, and then I'll be back on.